And we are live. Hello, the time is, I believe, 8:02 or something on the eastern seaboard of the United States, New York area. But tonight, we are coming to you live from Australia. And things are going great, everybody. Those were the seminal Bee Gees of Australia. Everybody knows and loves them. The brothers that come from down unders. Indeed, indeed. Well, everybody, we are live from Australia. As you saw from our promo, we had to take a little bit of a break and head down south. So this is going to be a Southern Hemisphere packed half hour, or maybe a little less. We've got a great show for you guys tonight. In a little while, we're going to hear a song from Friends of, who based in LA actually, but they're sort of the Gold Coast of the United States, if you will. Before that, we're going to hear from Katie, a normal Australian girl. See what she has to say. If you have any questions for her, pop them in the question box down below. But you know, first I'd like to address some comments from last week. If I look tired, it's because I am. So everybody, if I just want to let you know that this shelter-in-place thing has been taking a lot of weird physical effects on everybody. For me personally, I've been having stress dandruff. My BO has changed to a smell I can only describe as stale man. And, well, I have the sleep cycle now of a second semester freshman. And actually, you can see how this has changed. We pulled up a few images from the last few weeks just to see how I've gotten sadder and sadder. So here's actually week 1. Look at that chipper young man. Defined jawline, shorter hair, the confidence that says, I'm only going to do this for a couple of weeks and then we'll be back at it. Boy, was he wrong. Flash forward to week 3. I'm already falling apart. You could see the sadness in my eyes drooping, the just utter drunkenness on power of this show. And then what brings us back to today, and I'm not looking much better. But I'll tell you what, I went to our graphics department and I asked them, hey guys, can you put a projection together of what I might look like in week 7 or something? And they did. So here's exactly what they gave me. That's me week 7. And it seems that a lot of the tiredness and insideness has really gotten to me. So it's a bit of a strain on the brain. But I want to thank our graphics department, David Johnson, for this amazing graphic. Yeah. And I'm going to take that off now because it is horrific. Well then. So to remedy all this stress and all these things happening and all the badness of the outside world, the And We're Live team decided that we needed a vacation. And so that's why we are shooting on location in Australia this week. We even brought the background from the New York studio, but we are in Australia, and to prove that, here's outside of the window right now. This is exactly what it looks like on the Gold Coast of Australia. This is a live stream of our drone, 10 a.m. over the city of the Gold Coast in Queensland area, where we are. It's beautiful, really. The weather, the beaches, it's an amazing thing. But again, as I said, this whole show is going to be an Aussie half hour. The best of the Southern Hemisphere. Everything that we've got to offer. And we've got great guests for you. We've got Katie, we've got Zeke. But first, I've got to talk to you about the most pressing thing, Wombats. Yes, that's right, Wombats. My latest viral cute obsession. Here, take a look. Oh, come on. That is a baby wombat. It's the cutest thing. They do live in Australia. And I have 5 fun facts for you guys that I don't know if you knew these things about wombats. Number 1 about wombats. Number 1 fun fact. A group of wombats is called a wisdom of wombats. I think that's because if you can see it in their eyes, they're wise beyond their years and much wiser than we. Number 2. In prehistoric days, wombats, or at least their ancestors, were rhino-sized. So can you imagine this little cutie, but about 200 times the size? Because I think that might just be the cuddliest thing that I could ever imagine. And 3, this might be my favorite part of the wombat fun factoids. Wombats use their butt as a defense mechanism. You see, The wombat's butt is mainly cartilage, so it uses that as a defense mechanism in multiple ways. Namely, if it is being chased by a predator, it will plug itself into its burrow, so only its butt is hanging out, as a shield. So when the predator bites, it is an ineffective bite and it doesn't want to bite on cartilage. It Winnie the Poohs itself to protect itself. That's truly incredible. I think it's my favorite fact of the wombat so far. But again, I have 2 more fun facts for you guys. I said 5. I promised 5. The 4th fun fact, also having to do with their butts. Wombats poop in a cube shape. That is adorable. They poop in a cube shape. You can look these pictures up on the internet. I did not really want to show you feces while looking at wombats, but you can check it out. They do poop in a cube shape. And then the 5th and final one, wombats are both fast and agile. They can get up to a top speed of 25 miles per hour over 90 seconds. I'm not really sure, but they can be relatively fast. For reference, Usain Bolt got to 28 miles per hour for his world record sprint. So they can also turn on a dime. Their agility is very adept. And to tell us more about that, I'm bringing on Boggle and Pebbles from the Wombat Awareness Org. So please welcome to the show, Boggle and Pebbles. Oh, look at these cuties. They are adorable. Oh, look at him run. There's Boggle, and he's running. Oh, makes a little mess in the sand. But Pebbles is right after him.
Oops.
Oh, that's just great. Pebbles doesn't really know what to do. He's a little scared. Oh, but he jumps and he head first into the sand, but he's out again. Out in front. Now we're just waiting for Boggles to catch up. Back to Boggles, and here he comes sprinting. Look at that 360 turn, 270. Boggles with that agility in the hip flexors. Really something we haven't seen since the 1996 Olympics. Now Boggle and Pebbles looking at each other. Sort of a dead silence there. Another fun fact, they can also use their butts while they're inside of their little, their little ground caves. If a predator sticks its head inside, they will use their butt to smash its skull into the roof of the burrow.
Uh-huh.
So there's another fun fact for you. And here we go. We've got a little more action here. We've got some biting. Oh, a little playful attack. And they're back at the running. Oh, look at Pebbles. Look at that adorable face. Look at that little nose that could be 3 noses. Who's to say? Oh, what aerobatics, what athletics by Boggle. And it looks like they're in a bit of a stalemate. Oh, and a little tete-a-tete, if you will, of these wombats. Oh, man, the sprints here are, they're just majestic. They're athletic. Oh, my God. Boggle, you sick son of a gun. Well, thank you to Boggle and Pebbles, and thank you to the Wombat Awareness Org. You can check them out on Facebook. You can check them out on YouTube. And I really do hope that for all of you, this is your new late-night YouTube obsession. It has been mine for quite a while. So please make that your next little binge hole, whatever you go down. Just go on for it. Well, everybody, we are in Australia. It is about 10 a.m. here, 10:10. And you know what that means? 10:10 wins. It's time for the news. To the headlines. Our first headline comes here from, let me get the better screenshot, from the BBC. A giant pumpkin rivalry brings growers together in Australia. That's right. Gary Smith and Dan Oliver, 2 growers of giant pumpkins, are having a competition and have for years over these giant pumpkins. Now, lately, the weigh-in for this next competition has been called off due to the coronavirus, but the 2 are still at it, just being great friends, saying, quote, "We just do it for the fun of the game." Maybe that's a bit of a paraphrase, but it looks like that dog is having his day. Next on the news docket, this you may have seen, it's a little older, but we have here a zookeeper in Melbourne about a month ago that the zoo started live streaming their animals, and the zookeeper started to dance, and that went viral. So we're going to take a quick clip. We're going to take a quick look at this clip. Oh, he's got that little slide look to camera. Nobody's around. Let me just go grab my fan. Wham bam. Rainbow fan, thank you, ma'am. Oh, quite the move. He's getting every body part involved. Drops the fan, doesn't need it. Maybe later. but he's still going. And did you see that down there? He dropped his walkie-talkie. The battery snapped out, but it doesn't matter because he stuck the landing, grabs the fan again. Peacocks for us, and it's really, truly a great expose of dance moves. This music was also added in by The Guardian. I don't know what he danced to, but I appreciate their creativity. I don't think that was the soundtrack he had. But he's got great fan work. He's definitely wearing his mask. Ignore the people in the back end. This was months ago, before a lot of stuff happened. Point to the camera. It's over. Put it away and grab the phone because he sticks the landing. So thank you to that Zookeeper for brightening our spirits and making that just a lovely time. Just goes to show that in this day and age, that's what job security looks like. And finally, our last headline of the evening comes from Victoria. And here we go. An Australian mayor was caught drinking a beer and fined for breaching the shelter-in-place, confine. And the funny part to me here is that he was quoted by saying, I just went out with the boys because I thought I was, quote, within the bounds of the law, which I believe he made. So he made that law and then seemingly broke it. But I've got to tell you guys, he is a mayor of the people. When the people of Victoria said, hey, can I have a beer with that guy? They meant it at whatever cost. So cheers to you, Governor. Good day. All right, everybody, that's it for the news, and we've got a great show ahead of you. Here to talk more about Australian adventures and Australian culture is none other than Katie, a normal girl from Australia. Welcome to the show, Katie, a normal girl from Australia.
Hi.
Hey, Katie.
Hi, Zach. How are you going?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. Sorry, I had to pick up the phone from the bathroom because I just don't get any privacy in my house right now. My parents are around, and my little sister Kim, who's so annoying. Kim, I'm not talking to you. Kim, I'm not talking to you. Go away.
Yeah. Well, hey, we all have siblings. No, that's totally quite fine.
I mean, it's just like anyone who has a younger sibling. You know, I'm just like a normal girl in Australia. So
yeah, I get that. I feel that. So tell me, we're both in Australia right now. Mm-hmm. This is my first time down in the Southern Hemisphere,
and how do you like it?
It's great, and I tell you, it's so funny. Everybody talks about the toilets spinning in the other directions, and it's just it's so funny to see it all happen.
Right. Well, you are in the Southern Hemisphere now, so it shouldn't be that much of a shock. Because that's just like you're in the Southern Hemisphere. You're not in the Northern Hemisphere anymore. You're in the Southern.
Right.
So that's like the time difference.
This is the first time I've been here. So yeah, again, like all of this information, including being in the Southern Hemisphere, is brand spanking new to me. Brand spanking new.
So actually, I don't know if you know this, but it's actually not spring like it would be for you. In the States, actually autumn here. So.
Yeah, well, it's hard for me to have known because I've only been indoors while I've been here, but that's a great point. I knew something was different.
Right, but I mean, I'm sure you have like a lot of Australian movie stars that you like,
Oh my God, yes, I love. I'm a big fan of the Australian arts and cultures. Of course, we already talked about the Bee Gees, and how could we forget about the Hemsworth brothers? I mean, Chris Hemsworth, Thor. Chris, yeah. He's my favorite Hemsworth brother.
I don't know if I know Chris.
Oh, are you a Liam fan?
Liam? Sorry.
This is Chris and Liam Hemsworth. I think there's a third one, but...
Luke Hemsworth? Obviously.
Oh, yeah, from...
Thor Ragnarok? Sorry.
He was in Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah, obviously.
Who did he play?
Did you see the movie? He was Thor in the play within the movie about Thor. He starred in that.
Oh, my God! I never put two and two together, but that's great that he did that. And I'll tell you this. I also think he's in Westworld, but you wouldn't know it by looking at him.
Right. Well, I mean, it just like kind of blows my mind that you didn't know Luke Hemsworth, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm glad that he gets the love he deserves down there in the South. You know, things are all sorts of upside down here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh no, I totally get it. It's a southern hemisphere. So.
Of course. So, Katie, tell me, why exactly? My team gave me all the cards in the intro today. Why exactly do they have your name down as Katie, a quote normal girl, Australian girl? I was hoping you could shed some light on that.
Right. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just because I'm like the perfect example of an ordinary Australian teenager. Like, if I had to choose 3 words to describe me, it would be normal, ordinary, and no magical powers. So.
Oh, well, all right. I guess that is definitely normal.
Right. Just ordinary. Just regular.
Definitely. Okay.
Like I don't have any secret life that I have to hide from my family and hide from all of my peers at school. No, nothing like that.
Okay.
No. The full moon does not affect me any differently than it would any other teenage girl in Australia.
Interesting. Well, the fact that you keep bringing it up is you know, it definitely makes me question a little bit more. But I guess I'll move on. I will take some questions from the audience now. Mason asks, "What's your beauty skincare routine?"
Oh well, it's just kind of like salt water. And like, I don't know, power from my moonstone that I wear everywhere, but I just found it somewhere.
Okay.
It's from like Moonstone Island.
I
found it.
For sure, definitely normal. Nikki asks, "How do you like to season your shrimps on the Barbie?"
Oh, I don't eat seafood, obviously.
Why is that obvious?
Obviously, Zach, I can't eat seafood.
Why is that obvious?
Next question, please.
All right. Well, as a normal Australian girl, I'm sure this shelter in place has been taking a toll on your social life. Tell us about, you know, do you miss hanging out with your friends? Tell us about, you know, social life as a girl with your friends.
Right. Oh my God, I miss my 2 best friends so much. We do everything together. Like I said, I've just been cooped up in my house with my parents and my 11-year-old sister, Kim, who's like so annoying. Kim, I'm not talking to you! Kim! Go away! Sorry. Anyway, yeah, so me and my best friends, 2 of my best friends, we all have these necklaces. They're just like moonstones. We wear them everywhere. When we go to the beach, but like obviously not in the water if anyone's around. We go to the juice bar. We I don't know, we just like hang out in the moon cave, like on Moonstone Island, like for like most of our time I guess we spend there, but just like normal stuff.
Oh yeah, no, very interesting. A lot of moon motifs here. I'm not entirely sure why you bring it up so often, but it seems to be making it. Okay,
I'm not
we won't talk about it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So. Maybe we'll dig into it a little later. Tell me, do you have? Are you dating? Are you able to date in this time? Do you have a boyfriend?
Zach. Okay, first of all, I'm 16. I have plenty of time to get a boyfriend, but also, I don't know. I mean, none of my friends have boyfriends. The 3 of us kind of stick together. I just think it'd be like really hard to like explain to them like where we go during the full moon, or like why we can't get wet like in front of anyone else. We all had to quit the swim team and we can't go to the beach, and we don't eat seafood, and like where do we go like when we're at the moon cave, you know, like it just like would get really complicated. So we mostly just don't have boyfriends, because like how can you explain all that to a boy, you know?
Yeah, Katie, if I didn't know better, it sounds like you might be a mermaid.
A what? A what?
A mermaid. Oh, the you can't go to water, moon caves, avoiding having all these secrets. It sounds awfully like you're a mermaid, you and your friends.
Okay, I don't know why you're saying mermaid. That's crazy. Have you ever seen a mermaid in real life?
No, actually, I have not. But
well, they're not what you think. First of all.
Okay. Well.
And second of all, I can't believe you think I would be one. I'm normal. I'm ordinary.
Right, and I think it's exactly the insistence that you're ordinary and normal that makes me believe that you are a mermaid.
Well, okay, Zach, I feel like I can trust you. So I have a confession that might shock you.
This is a safe space. No, I promise you, no one is watching.
Okay. So I actually, me and my two best friends, it's not actually a coincidence that we all have moonstone necklaces. I actually am a mermaid, and I know that's shocking, and crazy, but it doesn't make me any less ordinary just because I have special powers and turn into a half fish, half girl when I get in the water, okay? So it's like, it doesn't make me weird.
No, it doesn't. Hey, I appreciate you sharing that. And we, at the end, we're Live Team accepts everybody at every shape and fish form. So, thank you for sharing that with us. I had a feeling something was up, but again...
It's just really scary to talk about it because, like, obviously, if we tell people, they're going to want to, like, kidnap us and put us in a lab and, like, do experiments on us and, like, they're not going to treat us like normal teenagers. And, like, how am I ever going to get a boyfriend if I have to live the rest of my life in a lab?
Yeah, there would be... I would never wish that upon you. But now that I know you're a mermaid, can I ask you a question about that? It's... Do you know Jason Momoa?
Of course.
Wow. And how about the kid from the 13th year?
Oh, yeah, that's actually awkward. We actually dated in middle school.
Oh, forget it. I won't even mention it. But then, okay, last question.
Yeah.
Do you know Shark Boy?
Oh, oh my God, you want to talk about awkward history? My God. Me and Shark Boy, things ended really badly because of, Lava Girl.
Oh, you know what? We almost had her on the show a few weeks ago, and it just disintegrated. So I'm glad that didn't happen because
sucks.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, anyway, actually, I have the same one simple question. How do you drink water?
Oh, because it would like touch my lips.
Right. Yeah, I don't get the logic of it.
Yeah, there's actually a really easy explanation. So me and my two best friends, we actually have to drink everything with a straw. Don't think about it too hard. But it's really easy. Look, I'll show you right now. I actually have a glass of water, and I'm just like with a regular straw in it, so that it doesn't have to touch my lips. So, Kim, I told you I'm on the phone. Please go away, Kim. Sorry. Okay, so Kim. Oh my God, only 5 minutes. Kim, I just told you to.
Oh.
Oh my God. Kim, can you give me a towel? Oh God. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, you're
Give
Finn.
me 1 second. Oh no.
Oh,
Give me a towel, please. Zach, I have to go.
Okay,
Zach,
no, please, yeah, feel free to.
I have to go.
Oh, I'm so sorry this happened.
Bye. Enjoy Australia. Bye.
Okay, yeah, bye. Good day, mate. Oh, geez, yeesh. Well, Katie, a normal Australian girl, everybody, please reach out to her with your well wishes. She went through a lot. There. Yikes. Yeesh. All right, well, we're going to keep this show rolling. I want to give a quick shout out to the class of 2020. They've been through a lot. They continue to be going through a lot. But I'd also like to shout out the class of 2008. Graduated into a recession, and now as they try to have a kid and get a house, another recession. So prayers to class of 2008. Next up, straight from the United States, Gold Coast of Los Angeles, is none other than Friends of to do a little song for us. So please welcome them to the show. Friends of Zeke Reed. As he comes on, I do have some music for him too. There he is. I was going to play AC/DC because that's also an Australian band.
Yeah, I always forget that. A stands for Australia. A lot of people don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. The A in AC/DC stands for Australia.
Little known fact.
Indeed, indeed. So Zeke, as you're known friends of for your solo project, thank you for coming on the show. I know you just came from another live stream gig. How did that go?
It went well, yeah. The live streaming economy is booming. I don't know. It's not much of an economy, as I'm sure I don't have to tell you.
We're looking to monetize soon.
Yeah, that's gonna be the real kicker when and if these things start actually being monetizable. It kind of remains to be seen. But
exactly. So Zeke, I want to ask you about. I was just in LA with you a few weeks ago.
In the very room you slept. In the very room I'm in now.
Exactly. And how the world has changed. You're now in that room. I'm in Australia. Things are so different.
It's all flipped upside down.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I've barely left this apartment for the last, I guess, 3 or so weeks. Doing a lot of music stuff, and yeah, sorry, Brennan. I'll stop with the econ talk. I'm way down on some shorts though, which I was telling Zach.
You can take that offline with Brennan.
Your advice. I pulled a total noob move and was on Robinhood. I was like, yeah, I'll put money in that. It didn't work.
This stock market, you win some, you usually lose some.
No, I lost. I didn't win any.
Yeah. Jason, do not ask Zeke for investing advice. I did want to bring you on.
Buy high, sell low. That's been my motto.
Buy high, sell low. That's the strategy. I did want to bring you on to talk about obviously your music. You've got the groovy lights, as Nikki points out, because you're working on a very groovy project. So tell us about Friends of. How you kind of grew from a classical artist coming up to more of this techno-y electro fusion, if you will.
Yeah. I guess I started just playing in orchestras, as you said, kind of until probably about 8th grade. And then I started doing this group in LA called String Project LA, which did creative string music, so to speak. Not that any string music is not creative, but we performed in a park when I was in 8th grade. We played George Gershwin's Summertime. And then we did I'm Yours by Jason Mraz on like all strings. And then I was like, oh, you know what? I guess music is probably more expansive than just being orchestra. Because I obviously listened to other things. And that was the first time I clicked. Like, maybe I could actually play other things too. So I think from there, it kind of grew. And then, obviously in the band in college and still now, Fenton. And then throughout college, I kept working on some of the production stuff. And then post-college, I really kind of leaned into a lot of that. So here we are now. I'm still doing the cello. I do not have it with me in quarantine, unfortunately. She is.
It would be the perfect quarantine buddy.
I know. I have a lot of quarantine instrument buddies right now, so I couldn't fit her. She's big.
And so you've got a new EP out called Cosmic Cowboy. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I really love space, and it's also right now a fun time to be thinking about space because it kind of takes our mind off the shittiness of Earth. And I love my Southwestern flair, as you all remember from college. So, and I guess it kind of came together. Like, how could I merge some of my interests into a style that's, I would not say all my own, because the space cowboy thing has certainly been done before.
I think it was
will be done again. But I get it. It's like it's a fun mix of the Southwest desert flair and like the expanse and mystery of space. And I think a lot of it came together in Joshua Tree, going out there, and they really lean into the space. There's a space cowboy bookstore out there, and they love their kind of alien folklore and the way the desert interacts with the great beyond.
Mm-hmm. Truly, it looks like Mars, and we have a lot of areas like that in Australia right now that look like that. So it's very cool. Now I wanna ask. What are some of your influences for this space? Because I think a lot of people may realize they listen to this genre, but might not know it. So, like, I know you listen to a lot of Odessa, for instance.
That is true. Yeah, I like Odessa a lot. I'd say it's kind of a combination of a lot of indie rock artists that I grew up listening to and continue to really enjoy, plus a lot of electronic artists. And then with definitely some hip hop elements and hopefully some kind of classical elements too. I don't want to forget. I think almost all of the best references all originated, at least in Western music, with classical music, and then jazz obviously is. I know you have your jazz background as well. So playing in jazz band in high school, and then you see how much of that shows up. I mean, So I try to have that in the kind of background, but I think in terms of what you would hear probably more obviously, it's like a combination of indie rock and electronic music.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, without further ado, we'd love to hear a song from your EP. What are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play a song, and I forgot to bring my Wombat on screen.
Oh, yes. Miso the Wombat.
So, yeah, Miso the Wombat with his snaggle tooth. So he's our little buddy, our little friend.
Everybody say hi to Miso, please.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Miso the foster dog. So I'm going to be playing a song called Feel Like It, which is one of the 3 songs on the EP. It's the concluding track. And I actually wrote it about a acid trip in Palm Springs back at a music festival when those were still a thing.
So classic. Classically.
Yeah, it was about I guess the first time my girlfriend and I told each other we loved each other. So it was a nice moment on drugs. They sparked, and I guess now it takes on a slightly different character because one of my best friends who I've known since my entire life, who we were with there actually, who recently passed away. He was there at that same festival, and he was the reason we went. So I guess it has that element of it too. Well,
I'm glad you find that meaning in it, and we're excited to hear it.
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right. So we are going to hear Friends of perform Feel Like. Let's do it. Here's his EP cover while we're at it.
All the lights, all the sounds make me still feel like it. Getting late, time me now, can I still feel like it? Inside out, realize there's no place quite like it. But still, I'm on my way. Ooh, I still feel like it. Rainbow kaleidoscope, we're back in my mind. Send me some of the sun. Your current electrifies the water, igniting a technicolor. My body in love with your car. I still feel like an incandescent fluorescent desert playground. I see the illuminate the sun. As the water darkens, you are all I see. Floating through the crowd, we're living in a neon dream. It's hard to explain. I guess I was just scared, but now it seems so clear. I still feel like it's speeding down the highway. Your hand in mine. I know it's gonna be fine.
Friends of and Zeke Reed, everybody. Give it up. Amazing,
Thank you
amazing.
very much for having me. Come here, bud.
Yes, let's get Miso back in here.
I know what you guys really came here for.
Zeke, thank you so much for coming on the show. Multi-instrumentalist, producer, and overall LA guy, Zeke Reed. Follow him on @friendsof, tagged in this post. Zeke,
Correct.
I hope you have a
And
good
the
rest
EP
of the
is out,
weekend.
The EP is out on all streaming platforms. My website is in my bio if you want to find it. Otherwise, it's Friends of Cosmic Cowboys. Zach has the EP cover right in the background there. And and I have a lot more music on the way, so stay tuned for that. Quarantine's been good for one thing, at least.
Amazing. Well, we will talk to you soon, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Adios to Miso as well. Bye now.
Bye.
Well, everybody, what a good time the show has been. And let me just remove this real quick. So, yeah, that was Friends Of. Check them out @friendsof. I'm going to post that in the post as well. You can check it out on my wall. You can check it out on wall. Check it on my profile. You can check it out on his profile. And thank you as well to Katie Rogers as a normal girl from Australia. So thank you to both of them. Thank you to the Wombat Awareness Org of South Australia. And also a last little thank you to Jake Canelli for hearing my pleas last week and securing me a Nintendo Switch, which will be in my mailbox tomorrow. My prayers were answered. So I hope everybody else has some sort of prayer answered, even if it's something as little as, I need something cute to look at, like a wombat. So everybody, have a good Sunday. Thanks for joining us in Australia. Next week, we're back in New York, or maybe another exciting location, TBD. But for now, hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend, or for me, a Sunday. And I'll say good day, mate. Bye now.